welcome to another episode of the Walking Life Journey podcast. For those that are joining us for the very first time, thank you, thank you, thank you. And those that continue to meet us here on YouTube or Apple Music, wherever you are listening to us, we appreciate you greatly. I am Nikkita White.
I'm Lorenzo White.
And I'm Keyondra White.
And together, we make the White family. Now, oh my gosh, let me tell y'all what happened to me. Let me tell you. So, got to get real serious, right? So I don't get emotional with this, even though this one right here might tell me I didn't do it that way. I'm going to tell y'all what happened. Let me tell you what happened. So, if you're unaware, May is my birthday month. And for my birthday month, we are planning a trip to Mexico. So I call myself getting everything together ahead of time. Got everything together, I'm packed, all that good stuff, right? All the things that we need to do to be ready. And I go to the location where our passports are sitting. I open up my passport book, and my passport is not in the case. You talk about somebody immediately.
Go ahead, tell it. I want to hear how you going to tell this.
Immediately panic. I panicked. So, because my passport has been sitting at this location now for almost 30 days. And when I went to go open it up, the passport was no longer there. So I start to think about, okay, where was the last time I had my passport? Where was the last time I had my passport? So I have my traveling backpack. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go check the backpack because maybe there was a secret pocket that I didn't check or something. So I go and check the backpack and every pocket that I know a passport cannot fit in, but I am trying to go and find this passport. It's not there. So I automatically, okay, when is the last time I saw it? And I thought about in one of my pockets in my backpack, I had a compliance paperwork that I was reading because I was going to read it on the plane and all that good stuff. Well, earlier that week, I had took those documents out my bag because I was like, oh, I have them at my desk. I done read through them already. I done highlighted. I done added notes. I can take this packet that I have for the plane and just toss it in the trash. I tossed it in the trash, and it's Friday. Friday is trash day in our neighborhood. So I'm like, oh, what if my passport slipped out of the pocket and landed in the trash with that paperwork? So it's Friday. The trash is already on the curb. So I'm like, okay, let me run out here. I open up the trash can top. Trash is still in it. So I try to pull all the bags out to see where is the trash for our room. Because typically I get a fresh bag. I throw the trash from my room, the trash from the bathroom, and the trash from the laundry room and normally take it out. That's how I do. That's routine. So I go through, I'm going to tell you this. We had seafood that week. So the trash was stinking. But I go through the trash bags. I just open the bags and just start pulling stuff out. Mr. White tries to give me some gloves. I can't even function. I don't want no gloves. I just need to go through this trash. So I'm panicking. I'm like, okay, I put all the trash back in the trash can. I come back in. Okay, where can this passport be? I look all the way around the area where it could have fallen or could have got knocked into the shelf. Nothing. Now, in the words of my mama, Holy Spirit, show me where this passport's at. She is quick to say that. So I was like, okay, I'm about to channel my inner Gloria. Holy Spirit, where's my passport? I go, Keondra's running. She's looking at the drawers in the room. Bree is already like in the trash with me. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, babe, just go on the trip without me. Like I really meant that. No. But babe, go on the trip without me. And then I'm like, oh man, you can't go on the trip without me because it's under my membership. So, okay, what does it take to cancel everything out? Because if I don't have a passport, I can't go to Mexico. So I'm like, okay, great. Our tickets are on Delta. I can get a credit for that. I can get our plane tickets credited. Okay. The trip for 5 days, 4 nights, all inclusive to Mexico was only $129. So I was like, you know what? I'll take the loss of $129. We're just not going to go. But on that same note, I couldn't give up. Where is my passport? Bree is already Googling how quick can I get a passport. Keyondra has her phone. So I'm going to call Delta and see if you left it at the airport from the last trip. Everybody's looking. And I am panicking. I feel like I'm panicking inside, but I don't know if I was really showing it on the outside. I don't know. I was panicking inside because I really wanted this trip. We've been talking about this trip. I really wanted it. And then I sat down, calmed down a tad bit, got on my knees, looked under my sofa, under my recliner, and guess what I saw? A passport. How did the passport get underneath the recliner? I don't know. So, y'all, I'm telling you this because here I was about to rearrange this whole trip because I could not find the most important thing I needed that was going to get me into Mexico. And I was panicking inside.
No, she was not. She was panicking outside, inside.
I was just going to let her tell the lie.
Yeah. She said that story like she was just so calm.
Yo.
No. She was... I had came in with a puppy, Our neighbors are selling puppies, and usually puppies make everyone's heart melt. Like, oh, I bring the puppy in. I had just got back to the house. She said, not in the mood. I said, but look. She said, cute, not in the mood. I said, oh, let me go take the puppy back. And I was like, let me get serious and look for this. And she just stomping through, saying she's going to cancel the trip, da-da-da-da-da. And me and him know when she's frustrated, when she's saying things like that, you just got to roll your eyes low-key because she'll just be snappy with it, saying things, and we're like, no, slow down. Like, we just now looking for it. Let's slow down. And she's like, I'm canceling. I'm not going. I'm canceling. I'm not going. That. And she's coming through, hitting stuff. I'm like, God, jog.
Anybody who knows this young lady right here knows that when stuff ain't going right for her, she'll set the whole house off. So I sat here quietly. I know y'all saw some of my faces and everything. However, I can't find my passport. I immediately, stomach got hot. I got a headache because I knew I'm like, man, it's Friday. We had already planned to go dancing. In my mind, I'm planning out the whole evening. We went from sugar to the other word real quick.
You're so funny.
And I knew right away it's going to be a long day. First thing I heard mouth. I got to find it. I give you that.
I did say I got to find it.
Second thing I heard mouth, I'm canceling the trip. I ain't going. You're going to have to go by yourself. So not in the kind of polite way you was describing it, but you were describing it somewhat. But we got to paint the picture for people.
Yeah, and it's so funny because we were like, it was the morning time, so we're going about our way. He's in the kitchen. I think he was cleaning some fish or something. And she said it once. She was low. She said, I can't find my passport. And when she was looking for it, she said, I can't find my passport. Babe, I can't find my passport. He immediately stops. He puts down everything. He's like, all right. Everyone just starts looking. He knew the day was going to be ruined.
So.
It's a shame how I saw my story happening and how they said it happened.
Yeah.
I did panic,
Ooh.
but I was just like, where? Because when you put something somewhere and when it's not there. I looked in the safe and I saw my expired passport. I'm like, okay, I know I didn't put my passport back in the safe. I left it here because I knew we would leaving in 30 more days. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to leave it here. It's fine. We got some plane tickets to buy. I need my global number. I need all that stuff. Yeah. And so I left it there till we can do everything we needed to do. So I think what's so frustrating is when you've put something somewhere, you've made the plan, you put it where it needed to go, and to open up my case, see, I saw everybody else's passport in their little case. Mine was not there. Global card there, COVID card there. Where's my passport? And instead of trying to freak out and just get an attitude, I was just like, I'm going to have to cancel it.
No, you freaked out, got an attitude.
All of the above.
And said, I'm canceling.
All of the above,
So, with all that said, what's the name of the episode? What are we talking about today?
I don't know. I had to tell them that because I was almost not going to make my birthday trip.
Yeah. So with that being said, today's episode, we talking about, are you prepared for the worst?
Are you?
Well, I mean, honestly, how do you prepare for losing your passport when you got a trip and it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Can I get a passport? Not even Wednesday. Can I get a passport in 4 days?
Absolutely not.
How do you prepare?
I looked it up.
You can't get a passport in 4 days. So I didn't have any other option but to keep trying to look and
No.
not give up.
Right. But you still wanted to cancel the trip. So that's
Well,
fine.
I mean, how else I'm going to get into Mexico?
You not. You was canceling the trip for everybody. So moving forward, again, are you prepared for the worst? Preparing for the worst. What happened on Friday actually got me thinking about a lot of things, right? Things that we need to take care of in our own home and in our own life. And you guys know anything that hits us, we bring it to you guys, we talk about it, we discuss, because more than likely it's some information that we've thought about and we feel like it's beneficial. So that what happened on Friday had us jumping through so many hoops and thinking about, man, how do we do this? How do we do this? Are we going to be able to get this back? And the whole gamut of different things, right? Not to mention the stress that it put the whole house under. And now all the negative stuff that comes along with it. But what kind of tripped my thought process with regards to when people pass away, when accidents happen, incidents happen where you scrambling to figure out what's going on and you already in the state, your mind state is already all over the place and you don't have certain things planned out. Yeah. So what came to me was the importance of preparing for those things that you do have control over. It's preparing for the worst. So you're not leaving things for people that's already hurting and mourning and everything else to be able to kind of pull the pieces together and trying to figure that out on the fly because of how difficult it is. So
I think, people do not prepare for the worst of all the time, like death and things like that. Because let's be truthful. We walk around here sometime like, ain't nothing gonna happen. We good. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Oh, I got time. I'll take care of that tomorrow. I'll take care of that tomorrow. Yeah. And then tomorrow comes and something happens and you're like, oh, I thought she had all her stuff together. I thought there was a life insurance. I thought this was there, but did you sit down and talk about it?
Right.
We don't talk about it because nobody really wants to focus on death.
Facts.
Nobody wants to focus on death.
We walk around like we don't have an expiration date. One thing for sure, all of us getting up out of here. I remember my mom, and she used to worry me about this. Like every time I turned around, she was trying to prepare me. Like, hey, we need to talk. I'm like, all right, Mom, yeah. Nobody wants to think about the worst things happening. Yeah. But she knew and she knows that, hey, man, all of us getting up out of here, this is what I want to make sure is in place so you'll know what's going on in case anything does happen. Yeah. And, she used to be on me about it. And, again, we never want to sit down and think about the worst things that can happen, but when they do, we leave our loved ones in a worse off place than, if everything was planned out and they knew where to go to get certain information and all this other stuff. Just a lot of things that could be alleviated. Yeah. Because again, you're already in a state of mourning and whatever the case may be. It don't even have to be death. It could be an accident.
Could be anything.
Somebody getting incapacitated.
Yeah.
And those type things. You trying to work stuff out on the fly, and it's always a much more stressful situation. So,
so while you can
plan
for things.
Yeah.
Plan for things.
What about you, Shell? What do you think about preparing for the worst things that can happen? What do you think about it? Benefits or
especially because you are young, right? And not focusing on death, but I remember us being in your same age, and the opportunity came up for us to buy some life insurance. And at that time, we're like, okay, we bought it because we had you at the time, and we always said that we don't want anything to happen to us where you would be a burden on someone else, right? It's already going to be an issue of you don't have your parents or what that looked like, so we wanted to make sure you were set financially at least. So we got life insurance. But in your 20s, do you really think like, let me prepare for the future for this, and this, or do you walk around like, oh, I'm good, I'm indestructible?
No, like in your 20s, I feel like you're mostly thinking about your future. You're always thinking about, oh, let me prepare for my future. Let me be set up. I think like, let me be set up for when I'm in my 30s. Let me be set up for when I want a bigger family. That way, but I don't really think for myself, let me prepare for anything to happen, like bad to happen.
Right.
And I didn't really start thinking about that until you were getting everything set up and you're like, if anything ever happens, this is where everything is. This is where everything is. So you start putting like little nuggets so I can know where to find things and certain things to even be on the lookout for.
Yeah, I know as a young person, I'll say for myself, I'll speak for myself, and you said it, as well. I definitely didn't think about it. Even though I was in the military being young, I didn't think about it. Yeah, the military gave me life insurance while I was in, but I ain't think about going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but now hearing us prepare and talk about certain things, it and plus, again, I always said, man, we got so much access to information now.
Oh, yes.
It's no excuse for us to leave this earth without certain things in place to kind of alleviate a whole bunch of negative, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
GoFundMe's and everything else that come with it.
Uh-huh.
Like Keisha said earlier, car washes and fish fries and bake sales or whatever else she said.
Been there. I'm never gonna lie.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
Been on that side where
it's rough, man.
We weren't ready.
Yeah.
We weren't prepared, and thankfully the right people was put in the situation to make things cheaper. Had good people in our lives saying, here, use this. Yeah. We put together our own skills and said, we can do this. It is not a good place to be. And again, we're talking about the worst thing. Mm-hmm. But even just preparing for motherhood, fatherhood, preparing for, I'm not even going to lie. Keyondra has just graduated with her master's. And you talk about us not even being prepared for that. She wouldn't even let me say anything because she hadn't officially took her graduation photos. And then I got permission on Sunday. I could post a couple pictures. I wasn't even prepared. I didn't even know what to say. All I could say was, I'm thankful. Thank you for letting me be part of your journey. And then it was the comments that started to come in. And one comment hit home. Real, like it hit home. Because when she met you at the hospital giving birth to Jakari. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I'm in tears. And I'm like, you know what? Me too. I'm in tears also. But we weren't prepared. Graduation, we knew graduation was coming. Yeah. But we just wasn't completely prepared because we knew she wasn't going to go to the school and walk. Mm-hmm. She had already said she didn't want to do that. And she had already said she had all these things to do this summer. So I didn't prepare like her bachelor's where we were graduation party. Mm-hmm. Got to go here. Family got to come in. It was kind of like, this is real.
Yeah.
It's happening.
And I think that's why it didn't feel real because we weren't planning so much for it. I was kind of like, I'm done. And I was like, I'll get my pictures when I get them. Like, it wasn't like, I need to do this. I was kind of like, yeah. So it didn't feel real to you.
And you guys already know that's not who I am. I'm not I'm like, let's celebrate. Congratulations. These are some huge accomplishments. Yes. Like, I want to scream it from the rooftop. And she was like, Mom, you can have permission to post 2 photos on your story. I can post 2 photos on my story. Like, what is that?
Because I wanted to, like, a big announcement when I actually have my pictures. And I really did. I had so many trips planned out that was my celebration. But we didn't plan anything together. So,
being prepared. It can be being prepared for the worst. Being prepared for your next adventure. Yeah. Being prepared for your next birth year. Like, whatever. Yeah. Are you prepared? Or do you wait for someone to make the plans for you? Do you wait for something to happen and then say, gosh, man, I should have done this? Mm-hmm. Those things right there, those shoulda, coulda, wouldas, regrets, I don't like them. They don't feel good. Yeah, buddy. They don't feel good. Because then I'm like, dang, I know we should have done that. Right. Why didn't we do that? So it all started because my passport was nowhere to be found. Yep. And I was panicking. Yep. And I was not prepared. Yep. I was not prepared with the emotions that was flowing out of me to hit the way they did, to the point that I had to shake it off. Because now this is all first thing in the morning. It's like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I haven't even started my work day. But yet I knew 9 o'clock was ticking, that I had a meeting to jump into. I can't bring all those emotions into that meeting. So I was like, Lord, again, channel him in inner Gloria. Holy Spirit, where's that passport? And before that clock struck 9 a.m., what did I have in my hand?
Her passport.
I had it.
The Lord knew, because I even went into her room when she was working out and said, if you wouldn't have found that passport, you would have called out, wouldn't you?
Sick day.
Yes.
Because I was sick.
Immediately.
I was sick. You guys know your sick days are not like, I'm sick. But that moment, I was sick. I was sick. Like, it hit. Like, gosh, man. You know what? I was disappointed. Because now I would have to go ahead and reschedule and change and do all these things.
That's a cute way of saying
it. Disappointed. Y'all gonna stay off of me. Y'all really gonna stay off me. Yeah. I mean, as you say, your stomach got all hot. My stomach got hot.
Yo, and let me tell you how she came to me and said, I found it. I'm still out in the dumpster. I'm still out in the trash can.
For the second time.
Yeah. Going through every bag. She pops out the garage door. I found it.
I found it.
And then walked back in.
I was like, stop looking in the trash. I found my passport.
Hold on. And then walks back in, right? So I'm sitting out there like, you ain't gonna tell me where you found it at? You ain't gonna give me no backstory behind it?
All you
nothing like
to
that?
know is I found
the only
it.
thing she said was, I found it, and then walked back in the door. Mind you, I got like 4 or 5 bags of trash open out in my garage. Yeah.
You know what, y'all? Yeah. I told him I could have stayed in the house and said, "Oh, I found it. I'm gonna go ahead and start my day now."
No, you couldn't.
I could have, and I would have been wrong, right?
And I would have canceled the trip.
That is
so I went to the garage.
I would have canceled the trip
to let him know I found it. Okay, now I got to go back to reality because my work day starts now. So bye.
Tell
bye.
You, man, y'all.
That's it.
Y'all pray for me.
Be prepared, y'all.
Be prepared, no matter what it is. If you can prepare for it, and again, everything you can't prepare for. Right. But if you have the control to prepare for the situation, to prepare for the activity, to prepare for the adventure, prepare for it. Prepare.
And for the things that you do know are coming, things that are unavoidable, take the time. It's very important.
And don't be afraid to talk about it. As Keyondra shared, I had to show her, like, okay, your dad knows all of these things. He knows passcodes. He knows bills. He knows all of this stuff. But on the same note, it's some you can't read my handwriting. Keyondra,
I can't.
You can read my handwriting.
I can't read
you
her
know where
handwriting
everything is at.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Because your daddy,
Yes.
he ain't gonna be no good.
I need some help, y'all.
He ain't gonna be no
She
good.
said he need help.
He need help.
Yes.
I hope your daddy.
Yes.
So we did. We had to show her, this is this, this is this, this is this. Like, let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about it. No conversation is off limits in the White household. We talks about everything. So, always remember, as you are walking this journey called life, you are a key piece to your story. Until next time, bye.
Peace.